Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cross Blitz. Doing it as a daily with Broodmaster Braig. So, one of the red decks, and his deal is he can do a couple of things. Either play around blood tokens, which is a 1-mana spell that increases your health, but can also increase your damage when you combine it with other cards and relics. Or sort of play around a sort of self-damage archetype, so like Rally Guy giving extra stats whenever he gets damaged, or Dozing Drake having more power when he gets damaged, and then he can also get cards that deal damage to your own minions. I think his base deck has Flame Tongue Warlock, 1 pyro damage to all other minions, so including your own. I really like Broodmaster Braig. The hero itself is very strong. It's a 1/4 with tough, relentless, so very hard to bring down, and it gains extra power whenever you play blood tokens. Not just on Broodmaster Braig himself, you can buff other minions and he will still get that power, and he will also summon more blood whelps to give you more tokens to make him even stronger. This can really scale up to ridiculous power levels. And taking a look at the modifiers, also all very favorable to us. At the start of game, deal 5 damage to the enemy hero. Does this mean that we just win the first fight outright? But yeah, just some extra damage can't hurt, makes it easier to end the fight early. Your minions that cost 5 or more have trample. We don't start with any 5-cost minions, however, there are a couple of trinkets that can increase the cost. So I think I want to try doing that with Broodmaster Braig, give him trample, so that he can get incredibly powerful, and then even if he gets blocked, he'll still be able to deal a bunch of overkill. Yeah, and starting health plus 10, I've mentioned it several times already, but that one doesn't really that much, but nice to have still, I guess. So other than Broodmaster Braig, our starting minions are Bloodwhelp, so some extra blood tokens, Rally Guy. Whenever a friendly minion takes damage, give a random minion in your hand +1/+1 for 3 mana and 4 health, so you can take more than minions usually can at that point. And Blood summon copies of your damaged minions. This can also get out of control really fast. I enjoy this spell quite a bit. Like if you have a Broodmaster Braig on the board, you take some damage, you Blood summon, you get twice the scaling on the board, and then if you have several blood summons, you can also play them consecutively. So summon 1 extra copy of every minion on the first turn, then 2 extra copies on the next turn. Basically quadruple your board presence. Very strong. And looking at the board, it's not what I would expect from such a strong setup. Just 30k, like barely over 30k. So maybe there is some tough. There are some tough enemies on the field. Because just looking at this start, this should be a deck that can easily get to 40k or even 50. But we'll see. Oh yeah, we haven't looked at the ultimate. And we get Blood Crusade. It is a bit unfortunate. Deal 10 damage to a minions on your turn. And then as a Blitz Burst, revive like 1 of every type of minion. Kind of hard to get all of these. I mean, by default you have Dragon. There are some. There's a good amount of pirates in the red faction. I guess you can get a cannon as well. Like there is a cannon that works with self damage. Sprout Elf is a bit hard to get. And Golem, there is a Golem that damages itself. That's pretty much the only Golem that fits into this type of deck. But generally, I prefer the other ultimate. We can see it here. Play 5 blood tokens. It makes your future blood tokens even stronger. But since we do have Rally in our starting deck, going into the self-damage archetype, which is the required trigger for this ultimate, might be a good idea. So let's go over relic bands. For our relics, Broodmaster Braig has 2 relics as usual, specific to his faction. There's the Rose Whip. When you play a minion, deal 1 damage and give it +2 power. And then what is it's like some kind of knuckle shape. Can't seem to find it. Ah, there we go. Brawling Knuckles, blood tokens give extra +1/+1. I think both are very strong. Like, not gonna ban either of these. I usually prefer the Brawling Knuckles. Rose Whip can be kind of hard to use, especially if you have minions with low health. They might just immediately die, but there are some pretty nice synergies with that immediate damage. But the blood tokens just basically have +2 power, +2 health on your Braig. Hard to beat. But yeah, I don't think I need to change anything about the relics. Maybe take out Grime Goo, because that's specific to the death deck. See if I can find a neutral relic that I ban instead. I like this relic a lot. If you can see that, just Broodmaster Braig spawning in blood whelps. Those blood whelps immediately got eaten for stats. Reducing spell damage. Yeah, I think I'll pick that. We don't start off with any spells, but there is a good number of pyro spells that we might want to pick up, so. And then for trinkets, so I will unban lifesteal. As I mentioned before, I actually like the relics that increase cost for this run, because they will also give trample to Braig. And Braig is the sort of minion where you can afford to wait a little bit, because you want to wait until you have stacked up some blood tokens anyway. And maybe I ban Dual Strike. Because my run is gonna focus around Braig probably, so, and he already has Dual Strike. So in terms of epics, +3 health is pretty good in this deck. Giving rush. I mean, Rush isn't that important for Braig himself, but there are some other top-end minions that can benefit from Rush. And, I might want to ban this Nimble Ribbon. I mean, it is a nice trinket. Like if there's one particular card your strategy relies on having it drawn immediately, it's pretty cool. But I've noticed that a lot of the times you'll see that in like elite card rewards on cards that you just don't want to have it on. Like several copies, several different cards, so they kind of lose their effect. Let's try removing Nimble Ribbon out of the pool. And then I'll try making Broodmaster Braig more reliable by just cloning him. So, what map are we playing on? We are still on the Sprout Elf map. Wonder what's up with that. Like, is it like a weekly thing that the maps cycle, or is it just a big coincidence that we've had the same map for 4 dailies? We have the puzzle fight Thorn Trinket combo pretty much towards the end of the whole map, unfortunately, but also like back to back. I think Broodmaster Braig has the aggressive trait. Can I look that up somewhere? Not sure where, but this would mean that we could pick an extra fight at Bandit Place. I think mushrooms give you an extra fight for aggressive as well. First lead is a bomb deck. It could be hard to preserve our HP in. So I might actually want to avoid the elite. Alternatively, well, this whole row is kind of not very good for preserving full health, because this one can deal damage to face. This one has rush minions, so we would have to go over to the left side, where I'd miss out on these 2 event nodes. I guess we'll go into the first battle and just see what the tavern has to offer. The first battle is going to be over right away. Yep. Just dead. So we get to see our first card reward. So we get some pyro spells, like immediate removal, and then like discover a spell. We get some different flavor of removal, but more like AoE effects with the Flame Tongue Warlock and the Spin Blade. I do like the Flame Tongue Warlock. Not necessarily the Spin Blade. I think there are better self-damage effects. And then we have Blood Token. Blood Drake is a very cool top-end card. Gives you like flying, very high power, and then scales up all dragon minions, including itself, every single time. Hard to take down because of Relentless too. We have the Well Pride as well. So if we take this, we would kind of be committing to blood tokens over Rose Whip, because this is a 1 health minion and this is a 1 health minion. But yeah, I do like taking the Blood Drake. And we'll see. So for our secondary minion we have Evolve. Doesn't really fit into the deck. Evolve makes your minions into more expensive minions and enemy minions into less expensive ones. So usually buff your own, debuff the enemy minions, but it doesn't preserve any stat buffs, which is kind of our whole deal with the blood whelps and the blood tokens. Honestly, it's pretty hard to combine Parsley with any kind of deck. Because he destroys most other synergies, so kind of if you play Parsley, you just want to focus on Parsley himself. I do wonder why it's considering this to be like a 2-skull compatibility, not a 3. Interesting. Then we get Ziggy. He has this whole glimmer thing going on. I really like picking Ziggy as a secondary mercenary for 2 reasons. First, there's the glimmer. 0, draw a card. So by itself, it's just a cantrip. So like it replaces itself, doesn't cost anything. But doesn't really do much. Like basically just bank 1 glimmer for free. But if you give this the draw a card trinket, this basically becomes Pot of Greed. Draw 2 cards at no cost. Very nice supportive deck. And then there's also Ziggy, which is the cheapest legendary minion in the game. And I have seen an event where we can buy a ramp trinket provided our minion is legendary, which this is. So he also has access to a pretty nice relic, elder relic. Convert glimmer into armor. Just some extra sustain so we can get a higher flawless combo multiplier. And then we also have death synergy. Also considered perfect compatibility. That does make sense because he has some dragon minions, Void Ancient and some other in his pool as well. And Braig is kind of doing a lot of death thresholds too, and also has some self-damage cards that can kill your cards if you self-damage them too much. So yeah, in terms of synergy, these two work really well. But I think because we can get that ramp trinket, I am gonna pick Ziggy and then also hope for the extra card draw. Probably remove the Gobblegum Whelp. We already have a 1-drop. And we only really want to play the Blood Whelp for 1. Getting to buff the Glimmer Gearbot could be nice. Like if we buff it with Rally Guy, it can stay in the board longer, give more Glimmer. So then we want to go over here. This does mean that we will not be getting the first elite for those 2 event nodes. Yeah, I guess that does mean we're missing out on quite a lot of scoring potential. Question is, do I really need the ramping trinket? Let's see what the relic choice will give us. So, yeah. We have our neutral, we have our Braig relic and our Ziggy relic. Braig is the Rose Whip. So damage your minions, make them more powerful. I already mentioned at the first card reward that because we chose some lower of minions, we are kind of leaning away from that. Alternatively, dual blades. Cheap minions have dual strike, so that would be Ziggy, that would be Gobblegum Whelp. This could be an interesting thing. Try to scale the Gobblegum Whelp, and then the dual blades makes that scaling more effective. Also, the Blood Whelps can get scaled later on as well, but I think overall they are probably much better dual blade decks. So instead, I'm just going to get the Ritzy trousers, get some armor, and I think with that I will go to the next fight. So we can either fight Fidget or Kaboomkin. They both have the potential to deal direct damage to the face. Although, Kaboomkin doesn't actually have any rockets in the early game. That's interesting. So yeah, I guess I'll fight Kaboomkin then. And this fight is gonna end pretty early, so I'm not gonna play Blood Drake. Let's throw out the Blood Summons as well. We can keep the Glimmer in hand. It's basically free armor. Lots of 3 armor. And the question is, do I want... So we got the coin because we're going second. Which means we could either play a Broodmaster Braig on turn 3 instead of 4. Or we can play a Flame Tongue Warlock on the next turn. We get 3 armor, so we can tank the 1 hit. And then this would give us a board clear, most likely next turn. Because he's just gonna play some more 1/1s. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah. If we played the Blood Whelp, they would have traded, and then I would have lost a minion. Instead, I'm just gonna play that Flame Tongue Warlock. He's gonna die, I'm fine with that. Because I do want to try getting the Broodmaster Braig on board and see if we can... Can make that a thing, like getting big overkill. Let's keep a clean board. Oh yeah, he does actually get rockets from the... from that 1 minion, huh? So yeah, I guess we do potentially take some some damage. Yeah, two of those shots. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Guess I should have tried to end the fight earlier. Yeah, so I'm starting to see why other scores aren't that high. I think we could have tried to end the fight earlier on. Going for overkill was too greedy. We got raining knives, some nice AoE effect. Not really interested in the bandits though. Some neutral minions. We don't have that many 2-drops, so we can try to get some of those. I don't hate getting a Buccaneer. But I think I'll just take the removal spell. Look at some relics. Cheaper spells, so extra door on turn 1. Cheaper spells would make blood summons cheaper, but extra draw is also just always very strong. And the one drop we don't want. Right, going up against Blood Mage. I'll just put down a Blood Whelp. And that's fine. We'll just destroy everything, so I'm not gonna play anything that turn. This is not so fun. Getting spammed with bombs. Yeah. Very unlikely to get away with full health in this fight, even with the extra armor. Still not enough armor to take one bomb. Still haven't drawn a bomb though. Let's plop down a rally guy so that we can buff something. The game keeps hiding those bombs. Not upset about it, but just surprised. I will play the Whelp Rider. He will survive the fidget because he has Relentless. So and now I'll just play Blood Drake and okay, that's unfortunate. He immediately dies. I'm not gonna play the draw. And he blows himself up. Okay, not how I would have expected that fight to go. I was banking on perhaps getting overkill, but then all of our strong minions immediately died. But we didn't draw a bomb, so... Ooh, Armor Fairy for 2 is quite a pleasant find. Could also get an S-rank bounty. Redeem a legendary minion. Bank glimmer equal to its cost. So we could... Right now that would only be Broodmaster Braig or Ziggy. Don't care about Blood Knight. Tough choice. Don't really care about the Armored Lady. We don't have... Yeah, we still don't have a lot of 2-drops, so... S-rank bounty is really good, as it basically gives us 2 more cards, like first the Redeem, then the one from the Trinket. Gives us easy access to Broodmaster Braig. Gives us 4 armor, but I think the fairies are gonna do more than that. Then I'm gonna skip the free relic and look at the event instead. After you summon a dragon, stack a blood token, that's wonderful. Means that all our blood whelps will give 2 blood tokens. Could pick up a cheap spell, Trinket 2, but I think I wanna get another Trinket over here. And Trinket Relic. And can we get an extra fight? We can. I do wonder what happens if I take this. Because this mask is what you'd usually get from that event, so can you get 2 of those? Deal 10 damage at the start of battle? If you want to go for points, we should take the fight, but I am kind of curious what happens. Yeah, we do get two of these, huh? And do they both activate? We get a 1, we get a 2, we get a 3, we get a top end. very content with that hand. And I'll just immediately remove that from the board before there's the chance to activate any traps. We're doing 3 damage right now. So I don't think I'm gonna get 10. We are doing 4 overkill right now, so we would have to deal 6 more somehow. I don't think that's possible. But we can do a little bit more. Oh, actually no, we don't have the relic that makes our blood token stronger. So just -4. And then we get more interesting choices. We can get a Chart Junker with extra health. We don't have any Scorch minions, so this is basically just a 3/3/3, like a vanilla minion. I'm not very interested in that Scorchling, but we can take another Whelp Rider and Blood Whelp. What I really like to see though is that Grog with a draw trinket attached to it. I'm gonna remove the Wing Roast Pepper. I'm gonna keep the Shipwreck as a Wrath effect. And then I'm gonna gun for that extra fight over here, because that allows us to go into the elite fight. There is an extra fight over here as well, but the puzzle fight doesn't give us an opportunity to score points, as far as I remember. So let's look at more relics. Yeah, I'll take the health potion. I really like the Witch's Wardstone as well. We take that instead of the draw. Like, it is basically a draw, and it's guaranteed to be a draw, a destroy the board card. Boss is gonna be another poison fight. Not looking forward to that. But, can attack the bandits for more points. And we'll get some blood whelps. They have a salty rogue, so no perfect victory. But we have a good base if we want to go for overkill. Because we're getting a lot of blood tokens and we have Broodmaster Braig in hand. We also have Blood Drake in hand. That's 3 blood tokens right now. We're gonna have 4. Let's wait just a little bit. Oh, it's whenever you summon? Ooh, that's even better than I thought. Now Broodmaster Braig generates his own blood tokens. So as it stands, this deals 1, this deals 2. So we're getting the enemy down to 2 health. So we can play 1 more blood token without killing. And oh, actually, because of the hard potion, we're still in flawless territory too. So I should preserve my health still. I can play 1 more blood token. Alright, so now we're doing 4. And next turn, I should be able to get some big overkill damage. Okay, he immediately kills his own poison roots. That's very nice of him to do. So I'm already doing 11, so I'm already at the overkill threshold. So we can just get more. We don't even have the blood token relic, and we're already scaling Broodmaster Braig to some very great power levels. So when I go to the elite, we're gonna have fight, campfire, trinket. Fighting the bramble bulb shouldn't be all that hard. Ooh, that's cool. Just 3 armor. Even more armor. And made board clear. Very cool. I'll just leave things as they are. Enemy almost dies. Enemy dies this turn, but I can give myself some blood tokens. And now I get the overkill as well. If I didn't, I can still summon a dragon, which gives us a blood token, gives us another buff. And yeah. Bramblewhelp is a very easy fight because he mostly just has those undrops. So if you have just 1 or 2 board clears, then that's really nothing fight. We want another cheap armor fairy or another draw 2. Since the Grog is also giving us armor, I think I'll pick the Grog. I will not take another hot shot. Like, if I had a damage buff, I might, but I don't know if I will get the damage buff. So, just one more Grog, please. This will be our final trinket shop. So, we do want to use our rerolls once we get there. I will make another Broodmaster Braig. And then let's see. We've got Hothead. I really like putting Hothead on Bloodwhelp because this allows Broodmaster Braig to repeatedly summon Bloodwhelps. Usually what happens is you play a blood token, Bloodwhelps get summoned, and then every other blood token can't summon a Bloodwhelp because the Bloodwhelp already occupies that spot. But if the Bloodwhelp has Hothead and there's something in Broodmaster Braig's column, then the Bloodwhelp attacks, usually dies, and you have space to summon even more. Which is even better with our relic setup because we get 2 blood tokens for each Bloodwhelp instead of 1. So I take Hothead. Now we can either get Guard or a mana reduction. Guard isn't really doing much since the enemy is playing poison. So poison deals 1 damage repeatedly, and Guard doesn't help with that. Guard halves damage taken rounded up, so... Oh, actually we rounded down, but it's the damage reduction is capped to 1, so if you take 1 damage, you still take 1 damage. Once the enemy buffs poisons, it's a little bit of a different story. But with our 2 masks, I hope that we won't even get there. I think having cheaper rally guys is okay, because we kind of want to play him early so that we buff our minions as soon as possible. Get our first reroll. Ooh, Overgrow. Immediately put it on the Blood Drake. Blood Drake has such a great synergy with itself, because then you have 2 Blood Drakes that each give every dragon minion +2/+2, so it basically spawn in a 10/10 that's gonna be a 14/14, or 2 14/14s by the time it gets to attack. So, just a great way to end the fight if it lasts that long. And then, +3 Thorns. Thorns isn't really gonna matter that much. Both the elite and the boss are not playing very strong minions. One is more spell focused, the other is poison focused, so I'm gonna put +2 damage on something. I can either put it on Ziggy or the Flametime Warlock. I'll put it on the Flametime Warlock. Basically makes it board clear. Now we get when cast, draw a card. It's really looking forward to this. And if we could pick tough, like usually I'd like to would tough on the armor fairy, but we don't have enough money for that. Swift strike doesn't really matter that much. Like Broodmaster Braig can make use of it, but I'm still looking for like extra cost. I guess I should have put Overcrow on Broodmaster Braig. I'm looking for the cost up, but I would prefer to get double stats. I think I reroll immediately. More draw. More cost reduction. Can give something flying. So I can take one common and one uncommon relic here. So let's take the common. I think I only have one target for that. Yeah, just a hot shot. And then reduce the cost. Can reduce the cost of Ziggy. Can give Broodmaster Braig some flying. I think that can be okay. Or make him 3 cost now that I know that he won't get any more expensive. I think 3 cost is also fine. I want to end the poison fight as quickly as possible. So usually I don't really care about Broodmaster Braig being cheaper. Because you're not really getting enough blood tokens if you play him early. But with our relic setup, like even just one blood token can convert itself into a bunch of blood tokens very quickly, thanks to the blood whelps. And since we do want to fight, since we do want to end the fight early against poison before the poison can scale up, I think I'm fine with another mana reduction. So lots of mana reduction trinkets in this deck. Alright, we're gonna fight a Whizbang. And yeah, this is now a draw 2 card. We let this open. Just immediately get to stack blood tokens. I don't want to play Broodmaster Braig on 3 in this fight, because he might, yeah, remove it very quickly. I can draw 2 without overdrawing next turn. I guess I can try playing one Broodmaster Braig, because I have 2 in hand, so... If he doesn't remove it fast enough, then the fight will end very early. Yeah, looks like that's what's about to happen. Actually, I can play my second Broodmaster Braig now as well. Then start scaling both of these. I have 6 of these in hand, so I'll just play all 6 of those. I didn't calculate whether that's gonna be enough to get the overkill, but I think that considering that each of those is +4 power, this is definitely enough. So, with this I'm already on pace of getting the high score. Like, if we win the boss fight, we're already at 33k without any additional modifiers. We just have to win the boss fight, which is not a given against the poison deck, but I think it's pretty likely. We get Gobbleglum Whelp is back with Hothead plus Power. That's actually a pretty nice combo of trinkets for a common minion. Also, Broodmaster is some nice remover. But yeah, we also get offered another Flame Tongue Warlock. So guess I'll pick up one more Blood Drake as well. Just so if the fight goes on for longer than I wanted to go for, then we are more likely to see the Blood Drake. Like, Blood Drake is kind of our way to guaranteed win the fight, and if we bottom deck one of the Blood Drakes, that'd be unfortunate. So also bigger card bonus. Another relic cache. I guess I do wanna pick up more relics for the point bonus. I'm keeping the heart potion because that will protect me against poison. It will protect our perfect bonus against poison. And obviously I'm gonna keep the extra blood token relic, so I guess I'm replacing the one Witch Stone twice. Doesn't really matter which of these I'm gonna take, because I'm gonna replace it at the next stop. I guess it's a question of which relic do I not want to see at the next relic cache. The Fungo figurine would actually be pretty nice, making the Blood Drakes 7 cost. Skeleton key would be fine. Might discard a Blood Whelp, but we'll also draw a Blood Whelp that we can play guaranteed, so I guess I'll pick the Heavy Sword. And we just see the Witch Stone instead. Although it has some tough competition, we might want the extra draw, just so we can either get more +2 cards, so that we can get to Broodmaster Braig quicker, or once per turn after you play a minion, bank 1 Glimmer, and Glimmer gets converted to armor. The opponent is not gonna have that many strong minions, so the silence and destroy all enemy minions is not gonna be that important. I think the armor we get from playing minions is more important, because that will also protect us against the poison. So yeah. And nice, we get the Broodmaster back immediately. We get 2 extra draws. And I guess I just replaced Whelp Rider. We are also going first, which is very nice against the poison deck. Poison gets a lot worse when they have the initiative and immediately give me poisons that we have to get rid of. Just, yeah, slow us down a lot. I'll stack some armor, draw a bunch of cards. And immediately gets 2 poisons in my hand. I wanna get rid of those pretty quickly. Already burning my cards over here. Not a fan of that. That's the downside of drawing so much when playing against poison. So I'm gonna just shoot that guy. Okay, we have both Broodmaster Braigs in hand now. I'm gonna play Armor Fairy. Really starts buffing up the poison. And I haven't seen any blood whelps yet. Please show me a blood whelp. No blood whelp. So it might count down to Blood Drake. Okay, we get the blood whelp. Get rid of the poison first. Is that necessary? I think the card will be played before the blood token appears, right? Yeah. And then actually I should have played the other. Yeah. That's a bit of a misplay. I think we're gonna be fine though. Okay, poisons heal the opponent. Both our Broodmaster Braigs have still have the relentless bonus, so if we destroy all minions, we can kill the dragon without losing them. Although I think I can also just spam a bunch of blood tokens on the Broodmaster Braig and kill the dragon that way. I need to play 4 to survive. Which does mean that I can play a rally guy or an armor fairy to get extra armor from all of the blood whelps that die. I think I don't need to worry about overkill, right? Like in this turn. I'd be doing what? If I play 5 of these, That's plus, so that's 7 times 2, and that's 6 times 2, but one of them will strike the Mush Dragon, so that's 14 plus 6, so 20. So actually that'd be the perfect amount of health. And then if anything blocks our path next turn, I can play Shipwreck and Broodmaster Braig survives because of Relentless. I don't remember if they keep the power bonus. Like, maybe they don't. How likely is it that the enemy is gonna... well, my hand is pretty full, so at most I can get 2 poisons. So I don't need the armor actually. But I can play more than 5 tokens this turn anyway, because then the enemy dies. I can play Blood Summon. Let's go for the Armor Fairy plan. Just seems the safest. Okay. So, again, check the damage again. It's 12, that's 5. Then next blood token, that's gonna be 14. 6, so yeah. I'm fine. I also... This one also survives a secondary Poison Puff Cloud. Poison Puff Grenade. This one doesn't though, so if he gets the primary... Yeah. I was worried about that. But I still get the overkill. I already do as things stand, but I can play all my mana for blood tokens and get even better. No reason to prefer one over the other, so just alternating to keep the health nice and symmetrical. Guess why not? Oh yeah, I'm out of mana. So yeah, we did perfect the fight. Get the overkill as well. 2 dailies against Rosa Vile in a row, but also 2 decks that can handle pretty well. And we get up to 40k. Yeah, I knew when I saw the deck that this must have been possible. And we did skip out on an extra fight as well, so there's even more to gain in that daily. I've played a lot of Broodmaster Braig, so I think it's a very strong deck. And like we didn't even get the best relic in terms of damage potential. So if you're just looking to score S ranks or win high mask runs on these maps, Broodmaster Braig is the way to do it, I think. You saw like a substantial fraction of his power in this room. So yeah, see you next time.